And welcome back to WSHIT. A very Merry Christmas to you and to yours. I'm interrupting our 48-hour marathon of the instant Christmas classic movie, Saving Christmas, written, directed, and starred in by our good friend Kirk Cameron, to bring you live coverage of Kirk's Christmas stage play, A Very Mildly Racist Christmas. He's live now in the Municipal Crabapple Center. Let's go there and catch a few minutes of his stage play, and then we'll be back to the Saving Christmas Marathon.
One of the most overlooked and deadly evils in the modern world today is Chinese food. Many people don't believe that, but any serious and committed Christian with just a moment of reflection will understand very quickly, with what I'm about to tell you, that Chinese food in all its forms must be entirely rejected. Many people are not aware of the very serious nature of the Chinese food question, and they participate in this very dangerous activity unknowingly. Number one, Chinese food is an expression of the Eastern philosophy of monism, oneism, the all-is-one philosophy of the East and its mysticism. And this food is not only coming from the East, the very heart of the most sophisticated forms of paganism, but by its very nature and composition, it reflects the Eastern monistic philosophy that is so wicked and perverted.
What a powerful, moving, and racist tribute to Christmas by Kirk Cameron. I myself don't like Chinese food, but that's because of my IBS. We'll be back after this commercial break.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
This youtube.com/The Commercial Break. You can go to the playlist that says In the Studio. In the Studio is where we do 5 to 10 minutes of topics that we normally wouldn't do here on the show. More timely topics like, pop culture and entertainment and stuff like that. It's kind of like an Entertainment Tonight for if the two people who were leading that show had no idea what they were talking about.
Exactly.
If they were completely misinformed.
Gosh, I don't remember. Actually.
Let's get him with a zinger. What do you say? Come on, Averman. I know you can do this. Let's throw a couple zingers in there. I can see him getting hyped up in the mirror with like one of his friends. Yeah. This is 15 minutes of fame, man. Let's get him with a zinger. Tell him you got a bad memory. They'll go, hey, what's up with your memory? And you say, I don't remember. This is the comic break we've been looking for. Go, Averman, go.
They're looking for the true love.
They're winners.
Loves the theater. She likes to listen more than talk on a first date. She's looking for a man who's educated, intelligent, and sexy. And she tells us about a date with a man named Wolfgang.
It's Wolfgang, you fucking moron. Come on, Chuck. Don't try to get fancy now. Wolfgang. She went on a date with a man named Wolfgang. It's currently available on DVD-ROM. I'm Wolfgang. I'm here to fix your sprinkler system.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
That's another episode of The Commercial Break. You like the new sound?
I do. I like it a lot.
I like it too. Thanks, Will the Champ, for giving us the idea. Welcome to another episode of The Commercial Break. I'm Bryan Green. This is Krissy Hoadley, and best to you.
Best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of The Commercial Break.
Woo.
I was doing a little research about the show, our show, because that's what I focus on, mainly. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as my wife will attest. And there's a new app out there called Good Pods. Good Pods.
Oh, Good Pods. Yeah.
Now, we have our friends at CastBox, and we'll be privy to that probably till the day that we die. But Good Pods is a nice looking application, and we are in the top 10 of all comedy categories and in the top 50 of all podcasts. I'm not sure where they're pulling that information from, but I'll take it. I'm not sure if it's legit information. I don't know if they collect outside data or it's just all inside data.
Yeah.
And if it's all inside data, then my guess is that, there's probably 10,000 people that use the app and like 6 people listening to the commercial break would put us in the top 10. Yeah. But I'll take it. It's a good feeling,
definitely.
right? It's a nice feeling.
Definitely.
I was reading on Instagram, this is probably like 2 weeks ago. I wanted to talk about it, but we didn't get to it. There was a couple in South Africa. The couple, they're kind of, of little means.
Uh-huh.
And one of the places that they like to go to on their date nights is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, okay.
And so because they like to go on frequent dates to Kentucky Fried Chicken, the man felt that an appropriate place to ask this woman to marry him would be the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Their place.
Their table. Their place. Their jam. And so they did. And he posted a picture of it on Instagram, and instantaneously he was fed to the sharks. They were fed to the sharks, right?
No.
Oh, this is so
Everybody's
ghetto
got an
and blah, 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 blah,
opinion.
blah. Yeah, everybody's got an opinion, right? And opinions are like assholes.
That's right.
Everyone's got one and they all stink,
Yeah.
right? That's been my saying for years.
Yes.
And I still think it's true. What you think of me is none of my business, right?
Right.
But you can understand how hurtful this was as it goes viral across the world.
Yeah,
and
because it totally could have gone the other way.
could have gone the other way. Could have been
Yeah.
a touching love story or whatever, right? Now, it's not necessarily my jam to go make fun of somebody because of their financial means, but I understand that lots of people feel they need to say something because they're keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
Hiding
them here
behind
at the commercial
screen.
break too. Yeah. So, because this is obviously such an asshole thing that people were doing, all these, thousands of people that were making these comments and making fun of these people, one company after another, decided that they wanted to make sure that these two had the most special day and head start in the future that they could. A mortgage company gave them $20,000 for a house.
Wow.
Another company gave them $10,000 in cash. A wedding venue gave them a free wedding. A honeymoon, a company that specializes in doing honeymoon travel, gave them a completely paid for honeymoon. Adidas gave them kicks for life.
Wow.
Clothing companies gave them clothes so that they would have a nice start, a fresh start in life after they got it done. I mean, company after company after company after company. I must have read through 50 companies that gave them free, legitimately great prizes, like not prizes, but gifts, right? Wedding gifts. And it was just like such a touching story because people are assholes on the internet. And I think we've all kind of lost this sense of civility because we don't have to face the person.
Sure, you're not saying it to their face.
That's correct. Now, Krissy and I are guilty as anybody of having a little fun with things around here, but I don't think we're mean-spirited about it necessarily.
No.
But this was obviously, people were being mean-spirited. I read the comments and people were being mean-spirited. They were just being dickholes.
Wow.
And I think it's really probably just children, people under the age of 18 that, they get their first taste of keyboard freedom and they're just out there saying whatever because they think that they're the next, I don't know. They think they're the next Bill Burr. And so,
comedian.
Yeah, they're the next comedian and they're going to be famous because of their comments. And so they make all this incredibly rude and crass commenting about this poor guy who just doesn't have enough money to take his wife anywhere else or his future wife anywhere else. So he takes her to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
But they got the last laugh because now they are many dollars richer and a whole entire wedding is coming their way 100% free. It is an incredible story.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it was
Best
kind
to
of
them.
best to them. And we'll throw in one for you guys here at the commercial break. We are going to give you this episode of the commercial break 100% free for you to listen to on your honeymoon. Feel free. It's all yours.
Yep.
Just giving it to you for free. And while we're at it, we'll give it to everybody else for free too.
That's
You
right.
get an episode and you get an episode and you get an episode. Congratulations to you two. I wish I could remember their name. I have their names written down somewhere, but I wish I could remember. It's one of those names that's really difficult to say. So I don't want to butcher it, quite frankly. And so that's it. Not going to say it. The big scuttlebutt on the internet is, we've talked about Kim K and Pete.
Yes.
And they are dating, question mark?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
We've already
There's
actually
something there.
in the studio about this, youtube.com/the commercial break. You can go to the playlist that says in the studio is where we do 5 to 10 minutes of topics that we normally wouldn't do here on the show. More timely topics like, pop culture and entertainment and stuff like that. It's kind of like an entertainment tonight for if the two people who were leading that show had no idea what they were talking about.
Exactly.
If they were completely misinformed. I get corrected so much on YouTube. One person's like, we did this whole thing about Charli D'Amelio, right?
Oh, right.
And how
I'm sure you got some feedback from that.
But they were nice about it. At least they were nice about it. The Kid Rock video, I can't say as much, but at least they were nice about it. Because I said, I think Charli should shut it down for a little while. She should take a break. There needs to be an escape plan for her, right? And somebody pointed out that is actually a month ago. Charli said she was taking a break. And I was like, oh, yeah, she's doing it. Well, at least she's doing it. Yes. I just had it wrong. Nice. So probably when I say this Pete and Kim K thing, I'm going to be wrong instantaneously, but I'll say it anyway. The whole scuttlebutt now is that people believe that this is just a publicity stunt because there has actually been no kissing formally out there in the universe. Yeah. Right. They're holding hands and they're seen together, but there's no like real PDA that goes on. I would say
they could be just good friends.
They could be. But listen. Publicists don't allow this kind of information to get out there unless they are tacitly approving what is going on. Right. Yeah. No one is saying Kim and Pete are together officially unless officially that's what's coming from one of their camps or both of their camps. I don't believe for a second that their publicist wouldn't if Kim K's publicist thought that
they've got the best publicist.
Oh my God, they know how to massage and manipulate all of it. It's like they're I don't know, they're the best. They have the best PR team that has ever lived in the history of ever. Exactly. They have had no major meltdowns. They have had no public bullshit that's happened that's taken their career down. Yeah. Even Kim, their whole fame is predicated on a sex tape that leaked. Remember that. The only reason why the Kardashians are in the lexicon of pop culture is because Kim Kardashian had sex with Ray J. Wasn't it Ray J?
I think that's right.
Had sex with Ray J. Ray J filmed it, and then somebody leaked it. Yeah, come on, give me a break. And suspiciously leaked it directly after Paris Hilton came to fame. True. After her sex tape was leaked, who also came to fame after Pamela and Tommy had their sex tape leaked.
That's true.
So in the mid-90s or early 2000s, leaking a sex tape made you famous. That's what happened, right? Yeah. And so Kim Kardashian built an entire empire. Remember, predicated on the fact that she had sex with Ray J and that film leaked.
Very true.
Just saying. But since then, they have made an incredible amount of money. Yeah. And no story has ever taken them down. There's been no major meltdown.
Even with the sister with the basketball player who was caught in the hotel, there's been things that could have happened, but
she got away scot-free. I mean, but I mean, it wasn't her fault he was a drug addict. I'm not trying to say that. But even those kind of stories that would normally take down a famous person, or at least kind of,
tarnish,
set them back. Yeah, it hasn't. And that's just unbelievable to me. So Kim K and Pete are dating for sure, or at least that's what people are telling the magazines. Okay. But no one has ever seen any PDA. My opinion is, if you show up on a Instagram post with Flavor Flav in pajamas, you don't have to show PDA. You're officially dating. I mean, when Flavor Flav gets involved. Yeah. Yes. I cannot believe that Flavor Flav has come out of nowhere and all of a sudden is with the world's most,
who knew they were friends?
Flavor Flav's another cockroach who just lives a million lives. Listen, I like Flavor Flav. I really do. I think he's highly entertaining. But that guy just came out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden he's in the lexicon of pop culture again. You know how unfamous Flavor Flav was just 1 year ago? I mean, no one cared about Flavor fucking Flav.
No, but now
he's back. He's back. He's back, and he's in it. He's in it to win it. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. So they aren't kissing. It's just another indication to me of how crazy our society has gotten. Now, listen, there has always been fascination with celebrity love. Since there has been press, there has always been press about celebrity love.
Yeah, who's with who?
Who's with who? Who's sleeping with who? Marilyn Monroe, goes Marilyn Monroe and all this, the Kennedys, all this other shit. It's always been there. But imagine how much pressure that must be for a guy like Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
He was famous because he was dating some of the most famous people on earth. That's why
he was engaged to Ariana Grande.
That's right. He was engaged to Ariana Grande. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Pete, you're my hero, bud. I mean, seriously.
He's got something.
He must have a 12-inch cock because he's really getting it together.
He seems fun, too.
Yeah, he seems fun in a crazy kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't know PK. I don't know Pete. I think I like him. He's fine. I've seen him in the roasts. He's pretty good on the roasts.
Okay.
Like doing the celebrity roasts.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. But he has made a name for himself dating these incredibly beautiful women who are way more famous than he ever was.
Yeah.
And now he's like a major A-list celebrity because he's dating all these major A-list celebrities.
Sure.
But can you imagine? He's admitted on air in a lot of different places that he's struggled with mental health issues throughout his life. His dad died in 9/11.
That's right.
As a firefighter, and he's had a lot of struggles because of that. Can you imagine what kind of pressure must be on his shoulders? Like his every move being watched, his everything being done.
That's part of it with that group.
Yeah. You have to.
Everybody wants pictures and wants to know every little thing. Well, and the thing is they open themselves up to the world by having the show for so long, where it was showing their whole life. So now people want to still know what's going on.
Well, now they have this other show that I don't think anybody watches because it's like that Hulu program. Kim Kardashian now has the Kardashians now have another show on Hulu.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
It's on Hulu, and it's, they left E basically to go to Hulu. They got a sweet deal. Now they have like what they call a 360 agreement with them, where it's they're involved in a bunch of different things, right? They call it a 360 production deal. And I don't think they had that at E. I think they were Ryan Seacrest?
Yes.
Wasn't he
he was the main guy.
I think Ryan Seacrest started was the executive producer of the show, and I think he had kind of control over ultimately what happened on the program. I'm sure they had some say in what was filmed or what was not filmed. But it's just like, why would you? I don't know. If I was in a relationship, relationships are hard enough. If I was in a relationship, I don't know that I put myself out there like that. I really don't.
Tough.
Yeah,
that would be tough.
That would be tough. Hey, commercial breakers, it's time for the commercial break. Inside of the commercial break, Krissy and I wanted to let you know that we are extremely grateful for everyone listening throughout this year. It's been a wild success, way beyond our imagination, and we really appreciate you being such a huge part of that success. You can go to tcbpodcast.com. If you want to learn more about Krissy and I, read any of the show notes, get any of our sponsors, free codes or specialized URLs, or you want to listen to any of the episodes or watch any of the videos. You can also visit youtube.com/thecommercialbreak to watch any of the episodes on video or check out our brand new YouTube-only series, TCB in the Studio. You can also reach us by leaving us a voice message or sending us a text message to 661-BEST2YO. That's 661-237-8296. And finally, I wanted to let you know a little bit about the holiday schedule. We are doing TCB The Lost Episodes. The episodes that Krissy and I recorded that never made it to air for one reason or the other. There's something redeemable in there, and I'm going to cut them up and I'm going to let you listen to them over the holiday vacation. Listen, we hope you and yours have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever it is that you celebrate, and we'll see you for Season 3 in early January. And now, take some time to listen to our sponsors and get some free shit from them. We'll be back after this commercial break. Hey guys, wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored in part by Playbook. Krissy and I have broached this subject many times on the commercial break. We agree that some of the worst stress you can feel in your life is financial stress. And if you don't have a handle on where your finances are or a goal for where you're going, it just leads to more financial stress. Playbook is built to help you grow a plan for your money, optimize your taxes, and watch your finances so you don't have to worry so much about money anymore. Playbook is an app that gets to know your unique financial situation and helps you get the most out of every dollar you save. The best part? You don't have to do any crazy budgeting or change your lifestyle at all. As a small business owner, I understand that having your finances in order and having a plan for where you're going is so very important, and it's not something I'm always strong with. So I'm so glad to have the help of Playbook. You've got to try it. It's an app for growing your money, and the average user helps boost their net worth by over $1.3 million. That's right. Playbook is helping the average user boost their net worth by over $1.3 million. I have a phone call to get set up with the good people at Playbook, and I'm so excited that it'll allow me to look at all of my accounts, my goals, and my progress in one place instead of having to go to 10 different financial apps. So, to get on the road to financial freedom with me, go to helloplaybook.com/TCB. And with that unique link, helloplaybook.com/TCB, you'll get a free Playbook Impact. It predicts how much net worth you could grow if you start today with helloplaybook.com/TCB. Let's go to financial freedom and beyond. Go to helloplaybook.com/TCB and look out for future updates on my use with Playbook. Hey TCBers, I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored in part by one of my favorite clothing companies, Mack Weldon. I have been purchasing Mack Weldon clothing long before they became a sponsor of the commercial break, and I want to explain why I think Mack Weldon is the perfect gift this holiday season for the man in your life. Mack Weldon clothing is incredibly comfortable, like silky smooth comfortable, and it's stylish. They have an innovative daily wear system that takes the hard work out of planning your outfits because the pieces are designed to go together no matter what you put on. If you're anything like me, that's the hardest part of my day. And Mack Weldon has convinced me to be a sweatshirt and sweatpant kind of guy. For years, I refused to wear sweatpants. I just thought, I'm not wearing those things out in public, and I don't want to wear them at home necessarily. Couldn't find the right pair. Some were uncomfortable, some were too long, some were too short, some shrunk in the wash. Mack Weldon solved that problem when I recently purchased the Mack Weldon Ace sweatshirt and sweatpants. And now I'm convinced Mack Weldon is a great gift to give the man in your life, or it's a great gift to give to yourself, guys. Listen, for TCB listeners, 20% off your first order if you visit mackweldon.com/TCB and then enter the code TCB at checkout. That's mackweldon.com/TCB. Promo code TCB at checkout for 20% off Mack Weldon orders. Get it right this holiday season. Get ready for the cold. Put yourself in some comfortable sweatpants and sweatshirts. It's the right thing to do. And thank you for becoming a sponsor of the commercial break.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
I was trolling on the internet, as I do. It got me thinking. For years, as long as television has been around, people have been putting their relationships on camera in the hopes of getting just a little bit of fame, right? It's gone on dating shows, reality shows, news magazine shows, all this other stuff. There's a lot of people who actually find that this is an interesting way to get famous.
Very true. I think that's why most of the people go on these shows.
I know, but has anybody ever gotten famous from a dating show?
Yeah.
Besides The Bachelor?
Well,
Besides The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not that I can think of. You don't go on the Love Connection to get famous. You didn't go on the Love Connection to get famous.
Yeah.
Maybe you were famous in your hometown. Maybe you were famous for 10 minutes, right? But you certainly were not famous, like roundly famous, right? It got me back to the Love Connection. And when I don't know why, but for some reason, when I was thinking about Kim K and Pete and how Pete must have all this pressure and why do people put their relationships under the microscope, it got me back to the Love Connection.
Well, yeah, it all goes back to the Love Connection.
Everything goes back to the Love Connection.
It's a great show.
It is. It all goes back. It's the kind of the dating game is the original dating show, and then they had the Newlywed Game and all this other stuff. But the Love Connection really, they took this form of entertainment to a whole nother level. The Love Connection, for those of you that probably weren't even born when the Love Connection was on, the Love Connection was a television show where two people were in one way or the other were hooked up on a blind date. They then went on that blind date without cameras. Then they came back to talk about that blind date in front of cameras. And it was one of the most entertaining programs on television.
Because they involve the audience, too, to be able to... Yeah, to choose.
To choose
the date.
Their date. Or they could choose the date and then... So, okay, let me get... 2 people come out, right? Or one guy comes out, or one girl.
Or one girl, yeah.
Chuck Woolery, the host of the show, talks to them for a little bit, gets to know them a little bit more. And then he shows 3 different people, short little montage clips of 3 different people, little videos. Now, the person could choose who they wanted to go on a date with. They could choose, or they could have the audience choose. And then the audience would take a little tabulator.
Yeah.
Little button in front of them. They would press 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
If they chose, then he would go out. Then whoever they chose, then the person would go out with him. He or she would go out with him. If they chose the date and they went out on a date and it was a good date, they could ask for a second date.
Yes.
And Love Connection would pay for that second date. If they didn't have a good date, then they could go out with who the audience chose.
Right.
And they would also pay for that date too. So it's kind of this, but that was almost inconsequential because what you really wanted to do is you wanted to get to the bottom of what happened on the date. That's right.
Yes.
So we've done this before. We've done this once before, but
I had a blast.
Yeah. What the fuck, one. Chuck? Oh my God. That was so hilarious. So I thought, why not go back to the well? I got a bear's woman's legs. Go back and listen to the episode What the Fuck, Chuck. I think it's episode number, I don't know what it is, episode number 119 or something.
I mean, I had a blast doing that one.
What the Fuck, Chuck. Go listen to that one. But now I'd like to take, if it's possible, I'd like to go and revisit an episode of The Love Connection.
I love
You ready?
these.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to
The Love Connection,
where old-fashioned romance meets modern-day technology, where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's the host of Love Connection, Chuck Woolery.
Chuck's recording his 14th program today. Here's the incredibly drunk Chuck Woolery.
Incredibly drunk.
Oh, God. They recorded like 14 to 15 of these a day. Yes, they would just like... They do a week of recording, and then that would be 2 months of programming. They do a week of recording, 2 months of a program. It was at least that's what I read about the production schedule. This guy was mega famous back in the 80s and 90s, by the way, Chuck Woolery, because of this television program.
For sure, 2 and 2.
Yeah, 2 and 2. He would be like, we'll be back in 2 and 2, referring to 2 minutes, 2 seconds for the commercial break. Mm-hmm. Now it's, we'll be back in 12 and 30. It's unbelievable. True. I was watching The Sinner, which is a show on USA.
Yeah.
You've watched that show?
I've started
so good. So good. And this last season, but generally the first 3 seasons are incredible. The first 2 seasons are incredible.
Yeah.
But I was watching The Sinner online, but they still have the commercial breaks in it, unless you want to pay for it, which I'm not going to pay for it. And literally 9.5 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
So I don't want any more complaining about our 6.5 minutes of commercials.
First guest. He's originally from Houston, Texas. Says that he's the trusting type, but you better not cross him. Claims that he prefers...
Says that he's the trusting type unless he's murdering you. Says he's the trusting type unless you cheat on him and then he'll kill you.
There's women who use bad language. And his memory has caused him some difficulty.
Fuck me. Fuck. What if he came out and he was just like, the fuck's up, Chuck? You big dick? How's your scrundle sack, you asshole?
Difficulty with his social life. Please welcome Eric Braverman.
All right.
Hi, Eric, how are you? Well, what's the story on your memory?
What?
What? Where did that come from, Chuck? Chuck has been phoning this in for 20 seasons, by the way. He just phones it in.
Yeah.
He's just randomly like,
what's the deal?
So what's the deal with your dick? What's the deal with your memory?
Right, where did that come from?
He's like, what? I don't know. I can't remember what I'm talking about. Yeah. Wrong cue card. Answer the question. We only got 8.5 minutes here, bud. By the way, 8 minutes, 12 seconds. That's how long a segment is.
Oh, okay.
On Love Connection.
Okay.
In case you were wondering.
Gosh, I don't remember. Actually.
Predictable.
Let's get him with a zinger. What do you say? Come on, Averman. I know you can do this. Let's throw a couple singers in there. I could see him getting hyped up in the mirror with like one of his friends. Yeah. This is 15 minutes of fame, man. Let's get him with a singer. Tell him you got a bad memory. They'll go, hey, what's up with your memory? And you say, I don't remember. Right. This is the comic break we've been looking for. Go, Lieberman, go.
I have had some problems in the past trying to remember my date's name. Went out about a year and a half ago, I guess, with a girl that I met. We went out. She called me, left me a message on my machine, and she said, it's me, just confirming the reservations for tonight. Uh-oh. So we went out, had a great time. It was actually a very good date. We went out the next night, and I took her places trying to learn her name. To this day, I don't know what her name is.
We took her places trying to learn her name. Where did you take her?
Right, yeah.
Hey, do you want to go to this name shop?
Yeah, I don't know where you try and learn something.
You know, in the 80s, they had all those, they had like...
Unless maybe you had to fill out a name tag
or something. You want to go down to the Social Security office, fill out a new card? Do you need a new driver's license? No?
I figured we'd head on down there with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, do me a favor. I know you're driving. Will you go 152 miles per hour past this police officer? I want him to pull you over real quick. I can't remember your name. That would be easy. That's an easy one to overcome. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, here again, Bryan Grain's dating service is available to anybody for $5. If I didn't remember your name and we were on a date, this is what I would do.
Okay.
What's your name? I can't remember your name.
How do you spell your name again?
How do you spell your name again? That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, can you spell your full name for the reservation? They need your reservation. Oh, Tom. Jill. Jill.
Wow, I didn't know.
Oh, you know, some people spell it with a Y or an H and a P. Yeah. You know how the kids are doing it these days. Jilf. The PH is silent. Well, my mom's name was Jill, and it started with a K. The K was silent. KJILL.
Are you serious? Really?
Listen to how innocent all of this is back then, too. Yeah. Like, you know, the worst thing that poor Eric here has ever done is forgotten his date's name. Right. You know, this day and age, it'd be like, oh, God. I stabbed someone in the penis. Yeah. It could be. Because he wouldn't pay for my dinner. Yeah, it could be much worse. I took me, my mom, my best friend, and everybody out to dinner, and then I ghosted you. Yep. Yeah.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. What is this about bad language?
No, it doesn't, Chuck. What are you trying to say, Chuck? He sounds aggressive.
I know.
Language. You like women who use bad language? What does that mean? I mean, bad language like cursing.
Talk dirty to me,
that's
Eric.
Right.
These girls are getting wet just thinking about a bad word.
So bad.
Oh, so nasty. Fast forward over here to 2021. We're grabbing them by the pussies. Don't worry.
Or swearing, or that just putting also bad language can be putting a noun in the wrong place.
No, I like, she's got to be grammatically correct. No, I like a girl who can. Get
him with the grammar joke, Eric. Get him with the grammar joke. Yeah, you hit him with the grammar joke. Go, Eric. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Oh, I'm hot in my knickers.
Who can use bad language. It shows me that she's got her guard down, that she's not being phony or false with me. If she's willing to sit there and exchange swear words with me, hey, we're going to have a good time.
What conversation are you exchanging swear words? Hey, go fuck yourself. You're just an asshole. Right. Well, you're a bitch. Yeah. You cheated on me with that nasty dick of yours. Yeah, well, your pussy won't get wet. Shows me that we're real. You know what I'm saying?
The guard is down.
It's a good date when I can exchange slaps with somebody on the face. You know, I slap them, they slap me back. No need to get the police involved. It's mutual.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like they just let these people outside for the first time. These people have never heard anything at all remotely non-puritanical.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say it. Okay, let's take a look at the women that Eric had to choose from. Remember, you're going to pick the woman that you think's best for him. Here we go. First, Elena. She has a degree in psychology. This sounds like the perfect girl. I'm not sure. She says that she either has a steady guy she goes out with or as many guys as possible, but she hasn't liked any of them in it.
Well, that makes no sense whatsoever, Chuck. Good framing there, buddy. She says she either goes out with one person at a time or everybody.
Tons.
Yeah. She either likes to have sex with one person or she likes a gangbang. There's no in between for this young lady.
She's a psychiatrist.
Oh, I like as many dicks as possible.
That she's been seeing lately. And she tells us the best dating advice she heard was this.
Use them, abuse them, and lose them. Well, you know, everybody knows that saying, and I'm not that cruel, but I think it's good advice. It's more fun that way.
Use them, abuse them, and lose them. Huh. Yeah.
Come on over to 2021. The water's warm for you, young lady.
Exactly.
Yeah. You'll fit right in.
You sound like the ghosting type.
Yeah. Yeah. This girl sounds a little crazy. Let's hope Eric doesn't choose Bachelorette number 1.
Elena.
Next, Heather. Heather says that she thinks a good place to meet men is a supermarket, especially the cereal aisle in the produce department. She'd like to meet a man who's into health and fitness, and she says that looks are important too. And Heather tells us about the men that she's been meeting lately.
Say, what do you want to punch me in my Captain Crunch? The cereal aisle.
Looks are important.
Some of the guys I go out with, it's weird because you'd think that the guys would want to play the field, but the ones I've met and gone out with, they want to settle down. I'm the one that's saying I want to play the field, you know, so it's been kind of a hard combination.
All right, finally,
Sounds
Megan.
like you came here for love.
Yes.
Both those bachelorettes.
Yeah, they're
looking for the true love.
They're winners.
Loves the theater. She likes to listen more than talk on a first date. She's looking for a man who's educated, intelligent, and sexy. And she tells us about a date with a man named Wolfgang.
It's Wolfgang, you fucking moron. Come on, Chuck. Don't try to get fancy now.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang. She went on a date with a man named Wolfgang. It's currently available on DVD-ROM. I'm Wolfgang. I'm here to fix your sprinkler system.
Or Wolfgang.
Oh, okay, there you go. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, but pay attention. He's like Hoadley here at the commercial break. He's like, Wolfgang. Oh.
Well, wait a minute. Wolfgang.
Yeah, Wolfgang.
We went back to his house to watch an opera, which he had, Don Giovanni. Wolfgang then proceeds to tell me that he is Don Giovanni reincarnated. And he honest to God believed it. I thought it was a joke, and I started laughing. He didn't know why I wasn't taking him seriously. I mean, I know men are romantics, but I mean, this was completely ridiculous.
Well, those are the 3 women that Eric had to choose from. Now it's time for you to choose. Who are you going to send him out with?
Chuck?
Okay, Chuck, let's just leave it alone. Yeah, Chuck, an accent. He sounded like a Polish polar bear. He sounded like that Muppet, the one who's always making food.
That's right. Yes.
1, 2.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the woman Eric selected here. Everything that happened on their date, we'll do it.
In
2 and 2. Be right back at you.
Yeah. He waited till the crowd settled down to give his famous 2 and 2. We'll be back. Shh.
Yeah.
And 2 and 2.
Yeah.
It's like his stairway to heaven. Gotta love the music. Music is old school. Yeah, for sure.
Eric's going to tell us who he selected.
And I remember this.
Good.
I chose Heather.
Well, that's good. Haven't seen each other since the date. We always do both sides. Say hello to Heather Wickham. Hi, Heather. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Make yourself at home back there, and Eric will start us off.
Heather was number 2.
So
yeah, I think
She was
Heather was
number
number 2. Or number 2 or number 3. I can't remember.
I left the arrangements up to her, so I got to her place, and we...
Wow, nice of you.
I know.
You're off to a rousing start, Rick.
Hey,
you want to go on a date? Yeah, sure. What do you want to do?
Yeah, right. It's the worst.
You figure it out. I'll call you later. I'll be there at 10. Oh, Rick.
We decided we were going to just kind of drive out and head to a restaurant. Didn't know where we were going.
Wow, this sounds horribly exciting.
Right.
It's the date of the century you're putting together here, Rick. We decided we're going to get in the car.
And just drive.
Yeah.
At this point, and Heather was kind of navigating. We were going to go to a Mexican restaurant. She decided that we would go to a Mexican restaurant. I actually hate Mexican food, but I just
asked you if it was okay.
I just wanted to get the date started at this point because it was taking a while to get going.
What did you?
Wow, Rick, what a dick!
I hate Mexican food.
Mexican food drives me
Who
crazy.
hates Mexican food? First of all,
People who have IBS.
Oh, that's true.
That's probably the people who hate Mexican food.
True. You could get the soup.
Yeah, you get the soup. That's right. You get the soup, or you can just get like chicken fajitas
soup.
or something like that. Like you don't have to.
Yeah.
What type of
you don't have to gut bomb it out.
Yeah, that's you don't have to go full Taco Bell double triple bing bong burrito or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Extra spicy.
Bing bong burrito. Taco Bell gets worse and worse. I just saw a commercial for them. It's like the triple bing bong breakfast burrito. We'll give you the shits for days. Make a run for the border. Make a run for the bathroom.
For the bathroom.
Jesus Christ.
Say, Heather.
I asked him if it was okay, and I said, I know you don't eat meat, but it was the only thing that was really open and happening.
So he's a vegetarian.
Right.
Mexican restaurant's probably not a good place.
Not a good idea, but I wanted to get the thing started.
Well, so you went to this place.
So, well, we got lost. And then we decided we're just going to stop at the first restaurant we come to. And as it turns out, we bumped into the Mexican restaurant by chance, and we decided to eat there. We were lost at this point. Heather's navigating.
We weren't lost.
As it turns out, we fell right into the window of the Mexican restaurant. I literally shoved her in the door and told her, I want to get this thing started.
Heather's fault.
Yeah.
I'd made her choose, and then she chose.
Yeah,
and now we hate
dude, okay, it's in 2021, it might be a little different, right? But back then, you make the date plans. Don't leave it up to her. Yeah.
Out,
and
you're making the plan.
If you tell her to make the plans, then you better damn well go where she wants to go. Don't fucking start complaining. Yeah, if you're a vegetarian, that ain't anybody else's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat the fucking, I don't know, have a cheese dip with some tortillas. I had that for meals many days of my life.
Right.
Get it together. Rick, you're a cocksucker.
Rick.
Lost.
I didn't know where we were, and I was driving.
I suggested this place before we left my apartment.
So we get there. Somehow. I don't know how we got there.
Okay, so you're at this Mexican restaurant and going through the menu. Thank you.
Going through the drive-thru. Taco Bell. We went to this wonderful Mexican restaurant and it had a bell up on top of it. Delicious burritos. They're filled with Doritos or some kind of chip. It was incredible.
And you looking for some vegetarian thing to eat?
We decided during the dinner conversation that we were going to go to a nightclub.
We decided during the dinner conversation we hated each other.
Yeah, exactly.
and we agreed not to see each other until the next date.
Club that she had been to before.
Right.
And she told me that there was a great jazz band there, and we were going to head over there. And I like jazz, and that was great. So we left the restaurant.
All right, now I feel like this is headed in the right direction. Okay, Rick seems a little bit more affable. Yeah, jazzy Jew.
Yeah.
A jazzy do if I do. It's a free-form jazz exploration.
And we headed to the club, which was right across the street from the restaurant. Thank God. So we found it.
Sure.
Well, that's why.
Thank God, because she's a woman and she can't drive.
He's awful.
He's such a dick.
We found it all right. We went to the nightclub. We go up there, and there's no one there. There's no band playing. There are maybe 2 people in the restaurant, drunk. And so the cocktail waitress comes over.
We got the place to ourselves.
Krissy and I would be like, woo! This is the best bar we've ever been to.
Yeah.
The bartender's no line. The bartender's ours for the night. Cares about the music. Turn on your iPhone.
And Heather said, I thought the band was playing tonight. And the cocktail waitress said, well, the band never plays on Sunday.
No, because I called and they said they were playing. And so that's why we went, because they're really good band.
You thought they were anyway.
Well, yeah, I called, and then we got there, and they said there was such a slow night that they didn't come that night. But they play almost every night. So, yeah.
Well, almost didn't include this night.
Whoa,
Rick.
Settle down, dude. You asked the girl to make the plans.
Yeah.
She drives. She's in charge of direction. She's in charge of figuring it out. Now you're being a dick.
You're picky about the food
Yeah.
and the places all of a sudden.
By the way, never in the history of ever has anybody been pissed off about a jazz band not showing up, okay? Led Zeppelin doesn't show up for the reunion tour. People are angry. You show up to the Fish show and you got the Jonas Brothers. I get it. A jazz band, you don't even know the name of a jazz band. Never. A jazz band is an incidental thing that happens to be going on when you show up at a restaurant or a nightclub. It's not like anybody goes, man, I really miss that jazz band. Dizzy Gillespie did not wake up and show up for your fucking blind date, Rick.
So
you're just kind of.
So we sat down, and at this point, we're going to have to talk again. I decided alcohol
We're
was going
going
to
to have to talk again. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you sound like you're really not into this at all, though. I mean, like it's a struggle for you to
everything we talked about basically came back to her modeling career.
You kept asking me questions about it.
I asked you questions. I also noticed when we were at the restaurant, I noticed on her questionnaire that she was a receptionist at her modeling agency. Right. And she quickly denied that. She said, I am not a receptionist. I am the assistant to the agent.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was started as receptionist, and I worked my way to her assistant.
Oh, okay.
What a dick!
God, he's awful.
This guy is a cock knocker.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. Now you're making fun of where she works? What do you do, Rick?
Yeah.
Never heard about your gainful employment. You just can't remember people's names and won't eat meat for some...
Yeah.
Listen, Rick. You came on a show to find a date. You should be lucky anybody's showing up with you. Obviously, you have a problem getting dates.
Correct.
So now you have to go on a television program in front of everybody, and you're going to act like a cock?
Yeah, he's awful.
Dude, this is horrible, bro. You're a real jerk. I'm glad it's not 1985 anymore. This behavior was acceptable back then.
So we sit down.
We're complete date of defending your character here, other than what you are. Okay, so
we're having drinks at the nightclub, and a cocktail waitress comes over, and she asks us. She says, she asked Heather, "Are you a model?" Mm-hmm. And Heather just kind of smiled, and then the cocktail waitress asked me, "Are you a model?" And I look at her like, "I'm not a model, but Heather is." So she and Heather started talking about her modeling career again, pretty much what I had heard at dinner.
Wait, you had to throw that in, didn't you, Rick?
Yeah,
you had to throw that in to let everybody know that the waitress thought you were hot.
Too.
That you could be mistaken as a model too. I think what's going on here is that this girl has better looking legs than you do, Rick, and so you're a little bit upset. What an asshole.
God.
And they talked for a while. I think the cocktail waitress was a little more interested in Heather at this point than I was.
So,
first guy that's ever been pissed off about two hot girls at your dinner table. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
This guy is all kind of wackadoodle. You're lucky, Heather, that you got away. You're going to get away from this one unscathed. Oh, of course you will. Yeah. No.
Did he talk to the waitress at all, Heather?
I did. Her and I talked more.
But did Eric talk to her?
At the very end, when she asked if he was a model, he said, "No, I'm a producer," and because he's a talk show producer.
He is.
Yeah, yeah, and but he didn't say radio.
Always
producer.
Looking. What?
But he didn't say radio producer. He just said a producer. Like that's supposed to be impressive or something.
Why does radio always get shit on? And by the way, radio producer is yeah, she's right.
Yeah,
she's right. Yeah. Radio producer. I was a radio producer one time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was really bad at what I did.
Yeah.
And I worked for free.
And I tried to get us to dance. I kept hinting that I loved to dance, and Eric kept saying how adventurous he was and how he liked to dance, and he never got up to
Was
dance.
there music
So maybe
playing?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there was
the
music.
Band didn't show up.
I'm sure there was like. We pretended that
boombox over in the corner.
His radio station was on in the background.
Right.
A talk show producer.
There was nobody else dancing, and there was no band playing. Kind of.
That's the best time to go dancing when no one else is there. You're not embarrassed that you can't dance, Rick.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and by the way, Rick is the most 1985 name I've ever heard. Rick.
Come Moon River and stroll after the rain. So how did the date end?
I took her back to her place. We went in. She asked me if I would like to see her portfolio, and I said sure. She's very attractive.
What the hell is going on? Oh my God.
Would you like to see my portfolio?
It's been a real great date, Heather. You got lost. We couldn't find the band. No one wanted to dance. Talked to the waitress all night long. Can I see your nudes?
Yeah.
Do you have any full nudes? I want to see what you're working with down there. Oh my God, so typical of a man. So typical. You want to see my portfolio? I remember we had a friend who was a model. Like, it was one of my younger brother's friends, and she was a model, like a bona fide model, going to Paris, walking the catwalks, the whole 9 yards. Not like, not like a pretend model like a lot of people are, right? But a bona fide catwalk model, and she would do these high fashion things. So she would always come to our Thanksgivings and our Christmases. She was like a sister.
Yeah.
And her family life was a little rough. And anyway, she brought her portfolio one time. She had been in New York for a couple of years. She came back. She brought her portfolio. Mm-hmm. And everybody gathered around the kitchen to look at her portfolio because half of them were her completely naked in some stage of undress. And at some point, my dad even came like, and he was like, these are beautiful photographs. I'm like, yeah, sure, Dad.
Talented.
Very talented. Your nipples are very talented. How do you get them to be that pokey? Do you mind if I take this one? Yeah. Show the guys at work what my pseudo daughter has been doing. I'm going to post this on my bathroom wall.
Of course I want to see her portfolio. I went into her place. She showed me her portfolio. It was really impressive. She's very pretty.
Well, thank you. But the reason why I wouldn't just say, here, look at my book. I thought, I could maybe get some work from the radio station. And I figured you would show them to your boss. That's what he said.
The radio station, you're a model.
Yeah,
what kind of work are you doing?
Visual medium.
He said it was a show.
Yeah, radio seems like an odd place to model. I mean,
it sure does.
They do have commercials.
You remember how you said goodnight, Heather?
I stuck my hand out to give him a handshake, and he said, how about a hug? And I said, fine, great. So we hugged, and I said, drive safe. And
so we hugged, we had sex, and he left.
That was it.
That was it.
Well, didn't work out, unfortunately, for either one of you, but the audience plays a part in this. Let's take a look and see who they chose for you, Eric. Holy cow, Elena, 52%.
Holy cow, I've never seen this.
Abuse them and lose them, Elena.
The audience sucks. This is why we're at where we're at today, is because the audience was heading in that direction. Because that's what would happen in 2021. People would be like, I want to see a train wreck. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I love it. I love the love connection.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Fantastic.
Such a great show.
It is.
All right, that's all we can do for today. Got to get out of here. Got things to do, people to see, pictures to take.
That's right.
All right, so
portfolios to make.
That's right. In the studio, our portfolios to make. I'll show you my portfolio someday. In the studio, TCB's brand new YouTube exclusive content. You can only find it on youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. Please like and subscribe. If you don't mind, like and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. It really does help. And you can get your free sticker just by leaving a review on your favorite podcast publisher. Go to tcbpodcast.com, click on the I Want My Free Sticker button. We'll tell you how to get it. You tell us where to send it. It's just that easy. 661-BEST-TO. Text us. Leave us a message. You may be on a future episode of The Commercial Break. Lots coming up. Season 3, round in the corner. And we're super excited about what's in store. But that's all we can do for today.
That's right.
We'll see you next time on The Commercial Break. Krissy, I love you.
I love you, Bryan.
Best to you.
Best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, we always and we must and with love and care we do say bye.
The Commercial Break. New episodes on Tuesdays and now Fridays. New YouTube clips drop daily at youtube.com/thecommercialbreak. Visit tcbpodcast.com for access to our entire media library. Follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram. Each episode is written and produced by Bryan Green, co-hosted by Krissy Hoadley, with additional content provided by Tina Cano.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings. How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.